Hey everybody. So I just thought I would pop on and kind of give you a little tip. I don't know if someone else has done this before, but I made some cute little pockets with some envelopes that I got at Goodwill for 99 cents. I got this huge box of them and I felt like, okay, I need to really use these up. But I just don't have use for envelopes every single time I make something. So one thing I did love about these is they're ivory colored. So they're not white. They're kind of almost like a coffee or tea stain type thing. And they're also not the legal sized envelopes. They're invitation sized envelopes. So I thought I'd show you a little something that I did the other day with this envelope. I am going to actually cut the envelope in half. But not the way you might think. I'm going to cut it in half by slicing it down, I guess, vertically. And I like to measure it before I do it because if you don't, especially with a flap that comes to a point like this, it doesn't go down the middle. So I like to just kind of eyeball how big this is. But, you know, when I do go in, I'm going to just eyeball where the line is because even when I measure, it doesn't seem to work quite the way it should. And if I need to, I can always open the flap to ensure that it's going to actually cut right down the middle. And I don't have to be this particular, but I am being this particular just because I'm showing you how to do it. So doing this, my cutter is not great, so I'm hoping I don't rip this envelope. There we go. And this may seem a little strange, but I'm going to show you what to do once you have your two pieces. So what I love about these little pieces is I can either leave the flap and make it a journaling spot, and I can show you how I would do that, or I can cut it off and it becomes a little pocket that I can slide things into. And again, I don't know if someone else is doing this I'm sure that someone is, but I just thought about like, hey, I could cut this off or cut this in half and see what I can do with it. Sometimes I like to challenge myself by doing things that, you know, kind of come to me. Oh, I got to go the other direction here. I told you I'm going to have to use my scissors. My little blade is starting to get dull, and that makes it a little bit difficult. Okay, so like I said, on this side, I'm probably going to decorate the front and just make it a tuck spot for my journal. But you can also use the flap in addition to the tuck spot. So I can, if I want to, take some paper, and this is just a piece of an envelope. I'm not going to actually do it right now, but I'll show you. You can wrap it so that it's a tuck spot that folds up and it still has the little flap. So essentially that's where I was going with that. And you could, obviously make it whatever size you want. I would probably want to make it the same size as this. And then what I've been doing is using these little Velcro tabs to fasten it so that when it folds down, it actually stays down and Velcroed. So I don't know if anyone has done this before, or if you maybe have done it yourself, and it's not really something that I found to try out, which is a little bit different for me. Normally I get inspired by something I've watched and decide to practice with my techniques and make a video on it. But this time this was kind of just something I decided to do to kind of give you an idea of something in the event that maybe you didn't see this somewhere else. So again, I was going to show you, I have been doing an October mini journal, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about as far as the tuck spot. So this is just made out of little book pages, and it's a small piece, but you can see here's one where I've tucked some journaling, and it doesn't really need any kind of fastener, but you could fasten it. And I actually glued it wrong to begin with because I put the other one on the first page. I'll show you that. But whenever you do this, if it's a small journal, you may want to, you know, turn it upside down, or you may want to put this side at the front and this one on the back, and it'll make sense in a second. But you can see my journal is this side up, and unfortunately this little tuck spot was upside down. So I decided to make it a journaling spot, and I put the little Velcro on it so it would stay. And I stamped it, and of course the stamp didn't work. So I may have to use my pen to draw those lines in, but it's a little tuck spot that I've made out of just a little piece of envelope. And what I've done on top of this is use a napkin from Dollar Tree. Right now they have these napkins for fall. I'm going to show you one. And if you have seen them and thought, oh, I should get some of those, but I don't know, because with Dollar Tree napkins, it can be kind of hit or miss. You know, you may open it up and it only has one panel, but these actually have the whole, which I've never actually seen, the whole napkin is the pattern. So you actually get a lot of use out of this if you're going to use it for this purpose. But like I said, I just literally used some matte medium to put that down. You could use glue. I think I used glue stick on the other one, and it did the same thing. But like I said, I would have put this on the first page so that the stuff wouldn't fall out of the book. It would have been towards the spine of the book, and then vice versa. But this one I put upside down on accident, so I had to kind of adjust. And again, this was just the two halves. So you can see they're kind of mirror images of each other, opposites. So I would want to put this one here where all the stuff that I put in doesn't fall out. And instead I glued it upside down like that. So I wasn't paying good attention. But instead of a flap like this, you could make it a flap like this and just make this flap a bigger piece. So yeah, if you haven't done that, try that out. Let me know how it works. And then again, you can always use them horizontally as well as tucks like this. If you cut them in half and just glue the flap back to the surface, you could always make a little pocket that way. And that's one of my favorite ways to do it usually, because you can turn it over and then use your little circle punch. I think I'll do that right now. And then I've got a little pocket for a journal. So, yeah, you know, you guys may already be doing things like that in your little mini journals, but if you're not, let me know. And I thought I might show you. I've gotten really into watching Anne with an E on Netflix, because I was a fan of Anne of Green Gables when I was, you know, like elementary, middle school. And I thought when October rolls around, I always love the quote, "I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers." I've been really into Anne with an E right now, so I had to use that on my little tag. But yeah, I hope that jogged maybe some ideas, gave you some ideas of what to do. And if you'd like a little tutorial on my little mini book, let me know. I'd be happy to do a little video on it too. As always, happy crafting.